A taxi pulls into the quiet parking lot of the city center mall in Thompson, Manitoba. It's just before 1 a.m. on a freezing November night. Minutes later, another cab driver will make a discovery that still haunts the community nearly 20 years later. A devoted mother, a respected caregiver, a veteran taxi driver, and a murder that remains unsolved. This is the homicide of Melissa Ivy Chaboyer. Welcome to Manitoba Unsolved, the show where we explore the cold cases, missing persons, and unsolved homicides that continue to shape our province's history. Today's case takes us to Thompson, a northern mining town where isolation, long winter nights, and transient populations create a unique set of challenges for law enforcement. It's here, in 2005, that 35-year-old Melissa Ivy Chaboyer was murdered while working a routine taxi shift. Her killer has never been identified. Her family has never stopped searching for answers. And the timeline of that night raises questions that still matter today. Before we talk about the crime, we need to talk about the woman at the center of it. Melissa Ivy Chaboyer was Métis, a single mother, and a foster parent who opened her home to more than 20 children over the years. She worked full-time supporting adults with developmental challenges, and part-time as a taxi driver for North Star Taxi, a job she'd held for nearly 2 decades. People who knew her describe her as compassionate, steady, and deeply committed to her family. She wasn't just driving a cab to make ends meet, she was supporting a household, raising her son, and helping vulnerable people in her community. She was the kind of person who made others feel safe. And that makes what happened next even harder to understand. This is what we know about her final shift. It's the night of November 25, 2005. Melissa is driving North Star cab number 302, a white taxi. She's working the late shift, something she'd done countless times before. Just after midnight, she's dispatched to a fair at the Thompson Arena. The caller's identity isn't known. We don't know how many passengers there were. And we don't know whether the person who entered her cab was the same person who later killed her. A few minutes later, Melissa radios dispatch. She says she'll be stopping at the Ramada, Burntwood Hotel. This is the last confirmed communication from her. Shortly before 1 a.m., another taxi driver pulls into the city center mall parking lot. There, beside North Star cab number 302, lies Melissa. She has been stabbed to death. Her cab is still at the scene. Her killer is gone. And the parking lot, a central, well-lit location, offers no immediate answers. The RCMP later confirmed the cause of death as multiple stab wounds. No weapon is recovered, at least not publicly. No suspect description is released. And no one comes forward with information strong enough to lead to an arrest. Let's break down the timeline as clearly as possible. Just after midnight, Melissa picks up a fare at the Thompson Arena. Minutes later, she radios dispatch, saying she'll stop at the Ramada, Burntwood Hotel. Shortly before 1 a.m., she is found stabbed beside her taxi in the city center mall parking lot. This is a very tight window, roughly 30 to 40 minutes. The distance between these locations is small. Thompson is not a large city. Whoever killed her had limited time, limited escape routes, and likely left the scene on foot or in another vehicle. The RCMP have never released a motive. But based on the facts, several theories circulate in the community. 1. Robbery gone wrong. Taxi drivers are frequent robbery targets, especially at night. But investigators have never confirmed whether money was taken. 2. A targeted attack. Melissa was well known in Thompson. Some believe she may have known the attacker, or that the fare was a setup. 3. Random passenger violence. The unknown fare from the Thompson Arena remains the biggest unanswered question. If this person was responsible, they vanished quickly and left no public trace. The RCMP have kept the case open for nearly 2 decades. They've never named a suspect. They've never released a composite sketch. And they've never publicly stated whether DNA was recovered. For Melissa's family, especially her son, the silence has been agonizing. Her murder is also part of a broader pattern: violence against Indigenous and Métis women in Canada. Cases like Melissa's don't exist in isolation. They exist within a system where Indigenous women face disproportionate risk and disproportionate barriers to justice. Melissa wasn't just a taxi driver. She was a mother, a caregiver, a community member who spent her life helping others. Her death left a hole in Thompson and in the lives of the many children she fostered. Nearly 20 years later, her family deserves answers. Her community deserves closure. And someone out there knows the truth. If you have any information about the homicide of Melissa Ivy Chaboyer, please contact the RCMP or Manitoba Crime Stoppers. You can remain anonymous. Even the smallest detail, a memory, a rumor, a name, could be the missing piece investigators need. Thank you for listening to Manitoba Unsolved. If you want more deep dive investigations into Manitoba's cold cases, subscribe, leave a comment, and share this video. Every view helps keep these stories alive, and helps keep the pressure on for answers. This has been the story of Melissa Ivy Chaboyer. Stay safe, stay aware, and take care of each other.